Hey everybody, welcome back to Swiftlessons for another blues soloing tutorial. Today we're going to be exploring the fretboard in the key of B as I break down 20 of my go-to licks. Before we jump in, be sure to join my latest giveaway. I'm going to be handing off this beautiful Gretsch Electromatic. To join, all you need to do is click the link down in the description and that'll take you to swiftguitar.com/giveaways. And if you want an extra entry, you can text the word Gretsch to the number you see there on the screen. Now, let's take a close look at the fretboard and start learning some licks. Okay, jumping into lick number 1, first a demonstration using the Nano Looper 360 by Electromatic. It's gonna look and sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, and... All right, we got our rhythm. Here we go. Okay, breaking that down. We're gonna listen to it real slow, get it into your ear, then I'll break it up into some digestible chunks. One more time. Okay, so we're in the BB's box position key of B. To find it, simply find yourself a B note on the B string. From there, you can build this iconic soloing position, which you can fill in using chromatics. Just like that. All right, so part number 1. All right, so I'm starting off on the 14th fret of the high E string. I'm gonna play 14 and then pull off 13 down to 12. All right, so then we're gonna play. All right, so there we played 15, 12, back. Then we're gonna play. That was 12 and 13, B and G. So. All right, then from there, we're going to picture this D position shape of the B major chord. It's always adjacent to the BB's box. And we can arpeggiate it. All right, so I played 12, slide down a half step, then arpeggiate the D shape, reach for the 14th fret of the D string. So 11, 12, 11, 14, and then slide up into this major harmony. 12 up to 13, and then the 12th fret of the B. All right, it's gonna be a little piece of a B7 chord shape using this C configuration. All right, put this lick together and we have... And with our backing track... One more time. For lick number 1. Okay, now jumping into lick number 2. Once again, hitting the backing track with the Nano Looper. All right, and without the backing track. Okay, so here I'm picturing the minor pentatonic scale, key of B, as well as its lower extension. All right, be sure to download my PDF study guide at patreon.com/swiftlessons if you want tabs for all the scales I'm using and also all of these licks. Okay, so we're gonna break this up into 2 parts. Part number 1, then part number 2. All right, so we're starting off sliding up to the 9th fret of the A string and alternating with fret 7 of the D. Then bend the minor 3rd, that's the 7th fret of the G string. So far you have. All right, if you're playing it in rhythm, 1, 2, 3, and. Next, we're gonna stack. All right, and start part 2 of the lick. So that was 9 and 9, D and A, walk up the D string, bend the minor 3rd, this time in the lower extension, and resolve to the root note B, 7th fret of the E string. Put that together and we have. A little bit faster. All right, just like that for lick number 2. Okay, now jumping into lick number 3. Once again, it's gonna look and sound like this. 1, 2, 3, and. And without the backing track. All right, this one's pretty beginner friendly, very standard blues. All minor pentatonic. We're gonna break it up, part number 1. All right, that's the standard entry into a blues lick. We see it time and time again. Grabbing the 9th fret of the G string, bending it up a full step. Then we're gonna grab B and high E of the 7th fret barring. Next, you're gonna grab that note here on the 10th fret of the B string up a full step. So right here, that's the dominant 7 in the key of B. And you're bending it up to the root note. All right, then we're gonna play. Just descending down the scale. And then we're gonna lift and kill. Grabbing the 9th fret of the G string up. And then we're gonna put our palm down on the string. So that way, once we hit that kind of ceiling on that bend, the tone goes mute. Put all that together and we have a pretty beginner-friendly lick. All right, once again with the backing track, it's gonna come in on that 4-ender. 1, 2, 3, and. All right, for lick number 3. Okay, now jumping into lick number 4. This one's gonna start just after the 1 beat. So. 1, 2, 3, 4, and. All right, real slow. We can break that up into 2 parts. Part 1, part 2. Okay, so part 1, we're starting with a pre-bend, G string, 9th fret, right inside that minor pentatonic scale. We're gonna pull off as we come down, and then hammer back up. Next, stack to the D string, and then hit the minor 3rd, 7th fret of the G string. That's part 1. A nice lick in and of itself. Then we're gonna play. Okay, so right there we started with. That was 9, 7, 9, 7, 9. All right, working in some pull-offs and some slight bends for extra flavor. Then, we can simply end it, grabbing the minor 3rd, and then go into the root note, B. Put that together and we have lick number 4. little bit faster. 1. And full speed. 1. And with the backing track. 2, 3, 4, and 1. 2, 3, 4, and 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. 2, 3, 4, and 1. All right, for lick number 4. All right, now jumping into lick number 5. This time we're going to add the flat at 5th to the minor pentatonic, making it a minor blues scale. Right there's that flat at 5th. All right, adding a ton of bluesy flavor. All right, the lick is going to look and sound like this. And without the backing track. All right, once again, breaking it up into 2 parts. That's part number 1. We're doing this kind of early rock and roll double stop. Here we have frets 9 and 10 of the B and the high E strings. Then we're just scaling down the minor pentatonic or the minor blues scale. All right, so that was 7, 10, 7. And that's coming in kind of just a hiccup before beat number 1. All right, a nice slow ascend with that bend. All right, then we're gonna play. Okay, so right there, we're starting off sliding. That's gonna be 9, 10, back to 9, and then pulling off. Then, just kind of going around a circle here. 9, 7, 7. That's the minor third, slight bend. And then if you like, you can resolve. Put all that together and we have. All right, for lick number 5, let's hear it once again with the backing track. See if you can play it with me. You just gotta kind of get that upbeat. All right, just like that for lick number 5. Okay, now moving on to lick number 6. This one is gonna make use of the major pentatonic scale. All right, and remember, tabs for all these scales and these licks are at patreon.com/Swiftlessons. Lick number 6 is gonna look and sound like this. All right, so a pretty simple lick, very country inspired. One more time. All right, we can play it in 2 different octaves, but we're gonna start here in the 4th fret position. We're gonna do a hammer, and then find yourself the root note on the G string. Next, bend the 6th fret of the G string up a full step. Then, harmonize it with the high E and B strings before returning on that bend. Then we're gonna finish up. That was 4, 6, 4, 4. Right there inside that major pentatonic box. And real slow. And you can try this one up a full octave, starting right here on the 16th fret of the D string. Notice how I'm using hybrid picking. All right, just like that for lick number 6. All right, and once again with the backing track. 1, 2, 3, and. like that. Okay, now jumping into lick number 7. This one's going to use two different positions and they're adjacent to one another. The upper extension of the minor pentatonic or the minor blues. If you take that little shape up a full step, well, now you have the BB's box position. Here's the root note. You can add that note in. All right, that iconic BB King solo in Bach. And remember, we can add in chromatics in that position very easily. All right, this lick is going to look and sound like this. All right, so real slow. All right, so the first part is very simple. We're just doing a hammer 10 up to 12 on the B string, then the high E string 10. Next, bend twice on the 12th fret of the high E string. All right, that's gonna be a 4 into 1. Next, go up a full step and play. All right, so we're gonna bend the 14th fret of the high E string up, then descend chromatically. Next, we're gonna play 15, 12, 15. And then find the root note on the 12th fret of the B string. Put those two phrases together and we have. And I like this phrase because there's a little bit of space between the two chunks. All right, and once again with the backing track. All right, for lick number 7. Utilizing two powerful soloing positions. Okay, now taking a look at lick number 8. This one's going to be a sweet major lick. It's going to wrap around or overlap with the E string rooted major bar chord, and it's coming from the major pentatonic scale. All right, it's going to look and sound like this. And real slow. Break it up into two parts. Part 1. Okay, so we're starting off the 5th scale degree. Walking up the scale. So 9, 6, 9. Then slide up to the major 3rd. 8th fret of the G string. Then we're going to play 7, 9 to finish part 1 of this phrase. Next, we're gonna play. So we're actually borrowing a minor pentatonic note here, the minor 3rd, sliding down to fret number 6. Then, we're just going to walk down the scale and then find the root note. Put all that together, we have. All right, with the count, 1, 2, 3, and with the backing track. All right, for lick number 8. Okay, up next we have lick number 9. This time we're back in the main minor pentatonic box. But we're going to throw in this major movement a whole step up from your main position. It's going to look and sound like this. right on beat number 1. All right, and real slow. And one more time at full speed. Okay, so right there we're playing the same pattern, but we're going to be moving it up to the ceiling string by string. So that was a pull off, 10 down to 7, then the B string, and then back to the root note. Take that up 1 string, and do the exact same pattern. All right, then we're gonna do it 3 times in total. On the 4th one, we're going to switch it up. That was the same verbatim, same pattern, but we're gonna slide up a full step to fret number 11 on the A string. All right, go a little major with it before resolving. Just like that. Once again with the backing track. And all right, for lick number 9. Okay, now we're moving into the halfway point of this lesson, lick number 10. Here we're going to be utilizing some harmonies, starting off major pentatonic, outlining the major chord, going a little mixolydian with it. All right, let's put it to work. It's going to sound like this. 4 into. And real slow. So we started off climbing up that major pentatonic scale, 9, 6, 9. Then we're gonna grab these harmonies, 8 and 7. Take that down a full step. 4 and 4. 2 and 2. Then slide up to fret number 4 of the D string and pair that with the 4th fret of the B string. 4 and a 1. Practice that a few more times. All right, and you're gonna know you have it when you can loop it. And with the backing track. All right, for lick number 10. Okay, very well done everybody. You already have 10 licks under your belt. Now for the next 10, I thought I'd break down some licks and concepts over a very common musical scenario. The 4 chord, returning back to the 1 chord. All right, so E moving to the B chord. In between those changes, we can apply the exact same rhythm. All right, and get ourselves back to the 1. All right, so let's whip up another backing track, once again using the Nano Looper 360. 1, 2, 3, 4, and... All right, and our next lick is gonna sound like this. One more time. I'm on the 4. And I'm back to the 1. All right, now get it into your ear real slow. And again. Okay, so right there, we are playing the E chord, All right, once the 4 chord comes in, you might want to meet up with that chord on its root note. All right, right there, the 4 chord comes in. And then as we move between the 4 to the 1, we might picture a diminished passing chord, F diminished to be exact, frets 8, 9, 7, 9. Even if your rhythm player doesn't play a diminished passing chord, you can still imply it for some jazzy flavor. And then find some chord tones to get yourself back to the 1. So that's part number 1, 7, hammer up to 8, 6, 9. Next we can play 7 sliding down to 6 on the G, 9 on the D, and then going down to the 6th fret. So far you have. And then finally, we can grab the major 3rd and the high root note of that incoming B7 chord shape. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. All right, after beat number 2, we're gonna come in with that lick. Once again, with the backing track. All right, one more time. Just like that for lick number 11. Okay, now jumping into lick number 12. This time, we're gonna be outlining the 1 chord B dominant 7, mixing together the minor blues scale with the major 3rd. So you can think about this as a combination of the minor blues scale and the major pentatonic scale, if that's helpful. But really what we're doing is just taking the blues scale and adding in a major 3rd. It's gonna look and sound like this. 1, 2, and just like that. One more time. Okay, so get into your ear. Very simple. We're just going to slide minor 3rd up to the major 3rd. That's frets 10 up to 11 with a rake. So dead strings with the palm. You can also make some dead strings here with your middle and ring fingers. Next, we're gonna play. That was 7, 7, 9. Then we're gonna hammer minor 3rd to major 3rd on the G string. Next, we're just dancing on the D string. And then hitting the minor 3rd with a slight bend. So that was 9, 7, 9, 7. Put all that together and we have 1, 2, and... And with the backing track, 1, 2, and one more time. There's the 4. All right, just like that for lick number 12. Okay, now taking a look at lick number 13. Once again, we're gonna be utilizing the B major pentatonic scale. That's gonna be our bass, but we're also going to be arpeggiating this very interesting position of the B9 chord shape. With the backing track, it's gonna look and sound like this. 1, 2. 3, 4, 1, 2. Okay, breaking that down, the chord shape that you need to visualize is frets 7, 6, 4, 7. All right, this is something that you can always throw in whenever you want to get kind of this otherworldly outside kind of sound. Let's get that little chunk first. I'm playing 4, 6, and sliding up to 7. Then we're gonna break the chord apart, and then go up to fret number 7 of the B string before. We're sliding 5, 4, 7 on the B, down to 4. So far you have. Next, we're gonna get melodic with it. We're playing 9 down to 7. I like throwing in a slide. Then the high E string. And then we're gonna play 12, 11, and with some heavy vibrato, 16 down to 14. All notes that will work fantastically well in the key of B. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Okay, and once again with the backing track. 1, 2. Alright, just like that for lick 13. Okay, once again, it's time to throw in some chromatics. We're jumping into lick number 14, and this time, we're picturing the E major chord as an A shape. Alright, we're going to kind of dance within that chord structure. And I'm not really thinking about any scales particularly, mainly just chord tones for this lick. Okay, so we put on the backing track. It's gonna look and sound like this. 1, 2. Nice little country transition lick. One more time. There's the 4. 1, 2. And real slow. Okay, breaking that down into 3 parts. Part number 1. All right, so right there, minor third to major third. Inside that chord, 8 up to 9 on the B string. Then 7 on the high E. All right, next we have. All right, that was 9 on the B. And then 8 sliding down to 7. Put parts 1 and 2 together, we have. All right, then we're gonna play. That's the G string. 9, 6, 7 sliding up to 8. And that is the minor third and major third and root note of the incoming chord B. All right, so targeting chord tones is really the secret sauce to being able to create licks that are tailor-fitted to given chord changes. So. And with the count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Just like that to fit it in. And with the backing track once more. Alright, and there we are on the 1 chord. Okay, very good everybody. Now we're jumping into lick number 15, and this time we're going to once again kind of abandon scales in favor of arpeggios, though we are going to picture over the 4 chord E, the E major pentatonic scale. Alright, just that way we don't get lost on the fretboard here. Alright, so it's gonna look and sound like this with the backing track. Here's the 1. Alright, we need to come in on the 4. And once more without the backing track. 1. Okay, so that's a few phrases in one, very melodic. We're starting off picturing the E major chord in its A-shape barred position. We're gonna play this very sweet arpeggio idea. Coming in right after beat number 1. 1. All right, so I found the root note, 7th fret of the A string. I'm gonna pull off down a half step, then go back up. Next, find the major third of this chord, 6th fret of the D string, and slide up to fret number 9 before finding the root note just underneath that. So 1. Then from there, I'm gonna picture the major pentatonic, sure, but also the major scale, which I can look at on my G, B, and high E strings, a partial position. Using those notes, we're going to play. We're going to break that up into 2 parts. Part 1. All right, so that was 9 going up to 10 on the B string, then pulling off. Then the 11th fret of the G string, and then back where you started. From there, we just need to descend down. Very, very simple. 11th fret of the G string, 9, 11 on the D, the root note, and then a ghost note. We're going to do a vibrato on the root note, then a quick little hammer-on, and a staccato note here on the 11th fret of the G string. Put that lick together and we have... Combine it with part number 1. 1. To form one long phrase. All right, now I want to get back to the B chord, the 1 chord in this progression. So I'm going to go up to the upper extension and play. All right, and there's my B note. All right, so I'm in the upper extension of that major pentatonic scale. But I'm also picturing the chord I'm playing over top of, the E chord. I'm grabbing its major third, then alternating with the 12th fret of the B string. Then I'm going to go up a full step from there and play 12 down to 11. Now I'm on the major 7 of the E chord, but at this point the B chord is coming back in. All right, so that's going to sound fantastic because it's right inside this B major chord. All right, so one more time. And then finally, a little bonus tag, pulling off on the high E string, B string 14, down to 12, really resolving on the B chord now because that's a B note. Put all that together and we have 1. All right, very Dickie Betts inspired for sure. And once more with the backing track. That's the 4. And here comes the 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. All right, for lick number 15. Okay, beautifully done, everybody. Now jumping into lick number 16. Let's do one more phrase, taking us from the 4 chord back to the 1 chord. In this case, we're going to be picturing the E major chord, the 4, in both its A and its E-shaped positions. And we're going to be utilizing the major pentatonic scale over that chord, E major pentatonic. And keep in mind that you can find the root note here on the A string. All right, using those notes, we're going to set up a nice little country line across 2 octaves. And then some harmony to get ourselves back to the 1 chord, B major. It's going to look and sound like this with the backing track. That's the 4. the 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time. And without the backing track. Okay, so we're starting off on the root note, right on the 1 beat, 7th fret of the A string, that E note. We're going to play a classic country line, 7th fret of the A, twice before sliding up to fret number 11 of the A string. Then we're going to play. All right, dancing on the D string, 9, 11, 9, 9 on the G, the root note. All right, put that together and we have. Now we're going to play the exact same lick off of the G string, moving up to the upper extension and playing over top of that E major chord still, but now in its E-shaped position. It's so important that you visualize the chord shapes. So, all right, that was 9 on the G, slide 11 up to 13. Then on the B string, that was 12, 14, 12, 12 on the high E. All right, so same lick across 2 octaves. Now we need some harmony to get ourselves back to the 1 chord B. So I'm using the harmonies, G and high E strings, that's going to be 16, 14, 13 and 12, that's a piece of the chord. Then we're switching strings, D and B, 14, going up to 16, and these 2 notes are inside the B major chord. All right, we're gonna slide up into those positions. Not all of them, but just maybe the first one. And the last one. All right, put all that together and we have. All right, for a fantastic phrase, again, taking us from the 4 back to the 1. With the backing track, here we go. That's the 4. Back to the 1. And right on the 1 beat. All right, for lick number 16. Okay, so now you got 16 licks under your belt. Once again, let's change up the musical scenario. Now I'm gonna share with you 4 more licks over top of the very common chord chains, the 5 chord, in this case, F sharp dominant 7, the 4 chord, E7, going back to the 1 chord, B7. All right, so our progression is going to sound like this, starting from the 1, F sharp, E, and back to the 1. All right, a very common musical scenario, something that you're bound to hear at the end of a progression. So our lick number 17 is going to look and sound like this. Now we're going to be in the G-shaped position of the B minor pentatonic scale. And we're going to finish the next phrase in the main position of that scale. All right, it's going to look and sound like this. That's the 1. And without the backing track. breaking that up into a few chunks. Chunk number 1. Same thing twice, just sliding up to the 7th fret of the B string and pairing that with the 5th fret of the high E, an A note. Next, we're going to play something very similar to what we played up a full step over the 4 chord earlier. All right, break that up into 2 parts. All right, we're going to stop right there. So that is 7 on the B string, then slide 6 down to 5, then go to 7 on the G. So far you have. Then we just need to play. That was 5, 7, 4, 7, 4, ending on the G string 4th fret. All right, that's kind of part 1 of this idea. Next, we're going to switch positions. All right, now we're in the main box, minor pentatonic, key of B. All right, I slid up to the 9th fret and then alternate it with the 7th fret of the G string. Then we're gonna play. All right, some double stops. 9 on the D, then 9 and 9, G and B. Then you can go to frets 7 and 7 of the same strings. Before, that little roundabout, pulling off on the D string, going to 9 on the A, back up, and then hammering on to the root note. Alternatively, you could also throw in that little major bit that we learned earlier. So, or just like that. All right, you put all those parts together and we have lick number 17. And with the backing track, here comes that 5. All right, 4, lick 17. Okay, now jumping into lick number 18. This one's gonna be pretty simple. We're gonna be recycling the same lick once over the 5 chord F sharp dominant 7, then once over the 4 chord E7, before resolving over the 1 chord B7, picturing that chord in its A-shaped position, and also its A-shaped position of the minor pentatonic scale. All right, and with the backing track, it looks and sounds like this. Here we go. Very simple. One more time. Okay, so that begins over the F sharp dominant 7 chord. You can find it here in the 2nd fret position. All right, of course I'm thinking of F sharp minor pentatonic. I'm thinking of the chord tones and mixing those things together. I start on the root note of that chord. Then we're gonna play minor 3rd to major 3rd. Then with hybrid picking, the B and high E strings barring 2nd fret. Then we're gonna find the same note, F sharp, right here in its upper extension, 7th fret of the B string. All right, take that exact same phrase, bring it down a whole step using open strings. For the 4 chord E before. Very simple. We're gonna use that Skip James train whistle lick. All right, 2nd fret of the high E string, bend the minor 3rd, and find the root note of the chord. Put all that together. Just like that, and once more with the backing track. lick number 18. Okay, now taking a look at lick number 19, we're gonna get really major with this one. We have our 5 and our 4 chord right here rooted off of the A string. So F sharp major and E major, and underneath those chords we can kind of dance around. Transpose for the 4 chord, and then resolve to the 1 chord, B major. All right, and once with the backing track, looks and sounds like this. All right, one more time, get it into your ear. Okay, so we're gonna start off barring on the B and the high E strings just underneath that F sharp major chord in its A-shaped position. We're gonna hammer on the B string, then go to the high E9. On the 3rd repetition, stop short before playing. All right, that was 9 going up to 11, then pulling off. From there, very, very simple. 11, 9, then scaling down. And you're stopping right there on fret 11 of the G string. All right, that's a pretty simple lick. We can take that down a full step, and now it's transposed for the 4 chord, E7. All right, then conveniently, we're right back in our main position. All right, and we're able to harmonize frets 8 and 7, the major 3rd and the root note of the incoming 1 chord B or B7. Put that together and we have lick number 19. And once more with the backing track. 1, 2, 3, 4. And one more time for good luck. All right, just like that for lick number 19. Okay, beautifully done today, everybody. Now we're jumping into our 20th and final lick. For this one, I thought we'd get into some soaring bends, utilizing the minor pentatonic and getting a little bit Stevie Ray Vaughan with it. All right, so it's gonna look and sound like this. A few more times, get it into your ear. And without the backing track. Okay, so we're starting off in the upper extension of the minor pentatonic scale key of B. We're going to do a hammer on the B string, 10 up to 12, 10 on the high E, then a big bend, a full step bend on the 12th fret of the high E string. So 1, 2, 3, and... All right, and that's going to be right over top of the 5 chord F sharp. Next. All right, so I'm going to do a kind of a rake-in bend, followed by a return or a release down. Then, I'm just gonna play 10, 12, pre-bend, and vibrato, which is pretty tricky because you need to make sure that when you're pre-bending, it's going to be the note you want, that F sharp note. All right, but you're going to get the hang of it just by practicing bending with a tuner attached to your headstock, so that way you can really get used to bending in pitch. All right, so that first part, and I'm raking using the dead strings. I can create those by laying my palm across the strings I'm not using. All right, then we're gonna play. Real slow. And that same little tag at the end that we learned in lick number 17, I believe. All right, so we began a pre-bend and a return, 12 on the high E. Then we're going down to 10. You can do that with a pull-off if you like. Then finally, 12 and 10 on the B string. From there, you can slide down to the 7th fret of the B string and harmonize it with 7 on the high E. All right, stop there and practice. All right, once you've played that, you're just playing. All right, so that was a pull off. 10 going down to 7 on the B. Then we're playing. It's a slide up, a slide back, and a pull off. So 9, 10, 9, 7. Then go around a circle. That was 9 on the G string. 7, 7. Stacking on the B and G strings. Then finally, that familiar ending. Pulling off on the D string. 9 on the A. Back up. And you can end with a hammer-on and some vibrato if you like. All right, so put all that together. That's that first part. Then all right, and with the backing track, our final lick. One more time. All right, for lick number 20. All right, everybody, I hope you enjoyed these 20 licks and that they're gonna help to elevate your lead guitar playing. Please let me know what you think in the comment section down below and share this video if you have a chance. And remember, I'm handing off this beautiful Gretsch Electromatic. If you want to win it, just head to swiftguitar.com/giveaways. And if you want an extra entry, you can text the word Gretsch to the number you see right there on the screen. Until next time, this is Rob coming at you from the Jersey Shore saying happy picking.